G'day guys, welcome to the mailbag preview for March 3 Australian Guineas Day at Flemington. Jonathan Walsh,
G'day Mr. Dickens.
the bookmaker. Trav, how are you?
Good, thanks, Dicko.
Alright boys, we'll quickly get the spruce out of the way. We've got Mounting Yard Mail from Flemington on Saturday, which the only way is up. I've had a strip there last weekend. I had a strip midweek at Bendigo and a couple of strips prior to that.
But
It's not been good, but we'll bounce back. We always do.
the market movers have kept you afloat.
Yeah, they're flying. They're flying. We had a very nice day at Terang, thank God. So we're back. There'll be no Perth Mounting Yard Mail this week. Pete's, I'm not sure where he is, but he's out and about.
Probably in the Maldives, Vegas, with all the money he's won the last couple of weeks.
He's flying, isn't he?
Oh,
Going
those.
well, going well.
Yeah, Saturday was sick.
He's posted a little yard, like a preview for the meeting on Saturday on Twitter, so you can go and check that out. It's like a yard related, looking forward aspect.
To give you an idea on Pete's, what did he back? $9 each way special, which won $24 best tote and a $36 best tote. That's the last three races at
That was the last race. Yeah,
at Ascot. So
I was cooked from the written by cash, and I missed the last
the
one.
Smarties got on. I didn't. Drew didn't. You didn't. Trev probably did.
Did you?
Oh no, I was too happy with Russian Revolution written by from last week. It's good week last week for me.
What about like the how in last Thursday that we cooked ourselves at the Betfair debate? Or was it the Thursday before?
Oh, I drove there, but you.
I cooked myself.
Yeah, you got there on the piss, which is fair enough too, and well within your rights.
God bless Betfair. God, they're good. Well, that's on tonight in Sydney, and how Sydney are any chance of winning the Betfair debate, saying that New South Wales is a better product. Victorian Racing today has, with Betfair, made the Betfair Commission 5% versus 10% in New South Wales.
They'll win the debate because of, hold on, there might have been the debate Thursday was Victorian Racing is the best product in the world.
Well, it was originally versus New South Wales, but that to incorporate the world to make it like a fight.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If it was Vicks versus New South Wales, yeah, we'd. I think we're in a better punting environment down here.
If you're betting on Vic Racing and not using Betfair, you're cooked.
Oh no, there's the best go is taking the overs.
Come upstairs and hit you up.
Well, take the overs. The percentages actually bet in the rings I'm working in. They'll be under 100% in these small races because they follow Betfair and you're getting on fixed odds. But
there's a fair bit on around there on Saturday.
Yeah, but I mean, each their own. But the best go is finding one midweeks, backing the shit out of it and watching it win. That's always fun.
It's good when that happens.
Alright, race
Righto.
1, 1,000 metres, 2-year-olds up the straight. What's the market doing?
Yeah, market's pretty interesting in this race, Dicko. They sort of haven't settled one out early, except for the one down the bottom, the 11, Absaroka. It's $3.90. It's jumped out well. $5.50 Acker's Meteor, $5 for Nomathage. The scratching in this race of the 9 VNS Stars seen a little bit of movement for a couple of horses, but then Ollivander there at $6, and then Virtual Insanity probably best of the rest at 10. Tough race to kick off the day.
I won't try and map this race because there's too many first starters. Is Ollivander going straight in?
I've had a look. Ollivander, if it was not lame last week, you would have thought would have been in a really good position to win this race. On its runs previously, you would have thought Flemington suited. I've got Ollivander in my numbers, Nomathage in my numbers because obviously it's one down the straight, has a chance. I've got a big query, or not a query. The 8 is a full to pressing or related to pressing. Pressing would have been good enough to win this as a 2-year-old or actually as a 3-year-old. Anyway, this is an open enough race. In my opinion, I'm always happy to take on the fillies against the Colts. Probably happy to put in 11, but with no... I can't be sure, but the 11's short enough for mine without knowing too much about its trials. The 10 might be a bit of a horse at value. I don't mind backing David Brightoak's horses, but 1 and 2 the class, 10 can win. 8 a query, probably happy to lay 11 at the price. That's where I stand.
I'd definitely just wait till I see the parade. I agree, 10 the value and 2 the obvious.
Oh, hold on. 5, the Robbie Griffiths horse did trial well at
Yeah.
Cranbourne, and that was an official trial which should be rated higher than the jump outs in my opinion. But
100% agree.
But it-
100%.
it's a 2-year-old race and it's a raffle.
Which is another thing that they'll probably be using a fair bit tonight. The Betfair debate. The private jump outs are a disgrace.
Yeah, it is. Needs to be fixed up. Hopefully that can get sorted soon. But I really liked Akers Meteor's trial at Cranbourne. Wrote a little article for Racing.com, and I thought he was close to the best performer of the morning. He struck a pretty tough race though on debut, and I just thought the inside draw's a little bit of a concern for mine. I'm really against inside draws up the straight, especially recent history. For that sake, I'd probably be happy to take on the favourite. I thought she jumped out really well. She was probably as good of the jump out horses, but she's drawn 2. And she was just given a real soft jump out and she looked good compared to the stablemate, the 8, who was given a real rev up and showed plenty of speed. The horse that he finished alongside, they gapped the others. I thought it was nearly as good, and you're getting, I think, too big in the
Double the
market at
price,
moment.
yeah. More than double the price.
At $10, I'd be happy enough to back it, and maybe the 2 Nomathage, just because it's got the straight track win and over sunlight. So
It's not just a straight track win though. The times it run in that race are elite.
Well, the other thing about
high class too.
the Nomathage, they've taken it up to the Magic Millions, so they obviously think it's got ability.
I backed it up there, unfortunately.
So it can toughen them up, the flat rides. Like you do see a lot of, or in particular the Warrnambool stables, they like to take them to Adelaide. They might run poorly over the border, Morpheville Parks, Morpheville, then come back improved. There is a bit of a thing around at the moment that, you know, it's season the horses by putting them in the float and that sort of thing. So, but anyway, tough. I reckon it's a tough one to start the day.
Very tough. All right, race 2, 2,600 metres.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Look,
Prices.
it's a tough race for, I think, the market in general and the early price assessors. I think they're just sort of guessing here. $2.90 a loft, $3.80 Foundry, $5 double bluff, $6 Almedo and Fanatic, and you can write your own ticket. Pretty much the other 2, I think they're irrelevant. This race is a big conundrum if you're trying to do form, because you got a horse like a Loft who's first up at 2,600
for a new trainer as well. Both his horses ran enormous last week for their condition.
Yeah, that's true. But
New trainer, same orders.
he has been
Well,
working under
putting the
Hickmott for a
spirit
long
on.
period of time.
Hey?
Yeah, but like he's putting the polish on him.
Yeah, no,
Like
I
he's
agree.
the big boys over like in Europe, just spending cash and doing God knows what.
Yeah. Well, look,
The trainer changes like this. It's whether you get your McDonald's down at Glenferrie Road, you get a quarter pounder at Glenferrie Road, or you get the quarter pounder at Kew.
No, but they can
It's the same.
Mate,
The bike running the show
I
is
can
still
tell
the
you right
same.
now,
I
depending on where
reckon
my
that
Uber
analogy's
Eats comes
great.
from, there's going to be a difference in my cheeseburger.
Well, I
Different
100%
ticket.
agree. 100%. You can
Same
get different
product.
Maccas.
Yeah.
It's so many different
Same product.
restaurants.
Right,
Uh,
Speed map, a loft will lead, Foundry can box seat. I think Eaton will roll forward.
Yeah.
Cry if I want to can be 3 back the fence. They could go forward with Omito, but I don't think they will. Double Bluff and Fanatic at the back.
Yeah, well,
And the 2 Hickmott horses, the 2 Lloyd horses lead, so tempo will be exactly what they want, I think.
yeah, and I'm sort of thinking they won't want it too hard because they're both first up at 2,600. And when
Yeah,
you've
which
got
is
horses
surprising.
like Double Bluff and Fanatic who have got, you know, recent 2,500 metre runs, it's a big thing watching the Rant boys. They're huge on that 2,500 metre run going into it. And I've sort of tried it out a little bit myself and had really good success using it. Boom Time in the Caulfield Cup, classic example. And for that reason alone, and just the horses, the way I sort of profile these horses, Aloft and Foundry, I'm not convinced they're genuine out-and-out stayers, especially Aloft. He's a first-up horse, I think, at 2,000 metres, and his favourite here, I'm really happy to take him on, put the sword to him and Foundry, who I don't...
Well, what price would like second bull be here? It wouldn't be favourite.
No.
That's what it beat. First up, last prep at 2,000.
Yeah, and then you look at his recent runs over a trip, he's only got the 1 second of Big Duke, and the horses in behind them were completely legless. So I'm happy enough to take both the Lloyd horses on and play Double Bluff and Fanatic. I think they're just stupid prices considering they're rock hard fit.
I'd say Fanatic's parading.
Fanatic's the one on the up.
Parading really, really well. I think it's going to have a nice prep. I don't want to bet in the race at all, though. I kind of understand and agree with what you're saying, but with the map,
yeah,
it might not be a 2,600 metre race.
Yeah, I agree. I think I had
There's
a
no
similar...
genuine pace here. There's no tactics here. It's just a plain Jane race where they could walk.
Watch,
100%.
Watch the betting flux and see what happens. This race is very similar to distance racing Caulfield, where the difference between the top and the bottom is enormous, and the weight scale does not suit. Eaton and Cry If I Want to come out of 0 to 64 races and have got 54 kilos. If a loft stands at $2.90 or whatever it is, it'll probably if it's $2.90 out to $3.40 back into $3, you know it's right. And the same goes for Foundry. Foundry's won the Group 1 Metropolitan.
Is that grand final day?
Yeah.
These
two are just clearly the superior animals in the race. You're just betting on how fit they are, so you don't know what's been happening at Macedon Lodge. But the best of the rest, or Fanatic's probably the one that I can agree with. I'm happy to lay Double Bluff. It's regularly potted on the show how Robbie Lang, or the placement of his horses, and I had Ormedo leading, or Ormedo or one of the Lloyd's horses leading. But if there's money for one of Lloyd's, they might just be too close.
3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares. Benchmark 84 prices, please. Trav.
Yeah, look, favourites Fragonard at the moment, $3 is getting out to at some agencies. Then you go into Hear the Chant at around $4.60, $4.80, $7.50 for Essence of Terror and El Rada, and then double figures the rest. Race for me before we get to the map, but I'm really keen to pose the favourite.
Oh, okay. The map. Sister Kitty Mac might lead from working from home. I think they'll go down the middle of the track here.
Yeah, potentially.
Fragonard on the inside, forward, but down the inside, and it might be doing it solo. Then Essence of Terror, Club Tropicana, give us a go and Hear the Chant, and then El Rada and Motown Lil at the back. I think there'll be some decent enough tempo here, which will set it up perfectly, I think, for Motown Lil Fresh to fly down the fat side of the track.
I could see where you're coming from. My knock is she's 1,000 metre horse and she's at 1,100 fresh.
She's going to win a race this prep. This will be the one.
Different beast to 1,000.
100% agree with that.
So that's my knock.
I'm happy to find out that. What do we get? 14s?
Yeah, around $14.
Yeah.
So I can see.
And you're itching to bet. I haven't really bet yet.
No, that's it.
I've had a pretty good look at this race. I'm of a completely different view. Once again, class horses in 1 and 2. The rest of them not as high of class as yet. Maybe the 9's got can work up. But look, currently Fragonard has had one start at Flemington where it was beaten by Omastar and continued to find. So I think it'll handle the straight. Hear the Chant has won down the straight. And I don't know, Motown Lil trialled very well at Cranbourne.
Yeah, she did.
I marked Fragonard on top because if Silence Edition was in this race, what odds would it have been first up? Yeah. Fragonard beat home Silence Edition. It will improve. The 60 kilos in the inside barrier worries me. If it drew 5 and had 58, it'd be unbeatable.
Yeah, that's exactly. I totally agree.
So I clearly mark Fragonard on top, and I reckon Motown Lil's a good each way bet. The query is how fits Hear the Chant. But no, Fragonard, D Lane, he'll put it in a good spot here. And if they do go hard in front, it can tuck in behind them, or it can go one out on the fence. It's down. The barrier won't be that big a deal. If they all go mad in front, it might just swamp them. The swamping horses will be 1 and 4.
I feel sick steering anyone into Fragonard. If they go down the middle, and she's like kind of not even got cover,
yeah,
and then she has to peel out, and she's like 6 off the fence in no man's land. It's not the place you want to be.
But if it had 58 kilos in barrier 5,
that's what I mean.
So
whereas Motown Lil will just smoke the pipe, and if she's good enough fresh, she'll fly.
But
and at $14, you got to hide into nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Each way you're on a hide into nothing, and once again, not a jump out. It's Cranbourne trial. Hit the line hard, held in a good trial field. But yeah, we're in a
I
grease.
think, it's a race I really want to bet into, to be honest.
Have you not gone yet?
No.
Sorry, mate.
You cut me off already.
But yeah,
I'm really happy to oppose the fave. I think it's a 1400 metre horse at 1100. It's looking for the distance of 1400 and it comes back here to 11. Drawn 1. I think it gives some weight to some horses on the up. Here the Chance jumped out really well, finished right on the back of Fragonard at Moonee Valley. Can turn the tables. Beat Rock and Gold and Glenelg in a recent jump out at Werribee, and they were really competitive in Oakley Plate. So this,
Well, I'm really loving it. I'm sure everyone at home is loving this jump out coverage from you two.
the trials are.
It's really important information.
Oh no, the trials are. The Cranbourne trials have been a really good spot to find winners for
Glad you parked
Yeah.
your
Years
car
and
right
years.
there too, eh?
I think
shining in your face.
for me as well, I've been calling Cranbourne trials for a bit with Adam Oslansky, who's a pretty good judge of the trials, and just I really like using them as a punting guide going forward. I think they're running a bit truer tempo than the jump outs, and I think they're a bit underrated sometimes.
Well, back a few years ago, is it Benson used to post out all the trial form, and that used to be the
Benson.
Benson, I think his name, Ray Benson.
Ray Benson.
Ray
I was
Benson.
going to say his old man.
Ray
Love to
Benson.
start.
Ray Benson trial
What was
form
his
in that.
brother's name? Hedges.
Yeah. Look, when you weren't thought of in primary school, and that the punters were getting the Cranbourne trial, Benson was sending out reams of paper in the post to people all
Really?
around Australia, and they'd use them and find winners in maidens and that sort of stuff. Cranbourne trial form's been A1 for many a year.
Well, back to the race. Here the Chant, I think I think at $4.40 is a really good price. Andrew Mullion is a good straight track rider. He's an underrated rider, and I think it's probably one I could back. As I already said, I'll probably lay the favourite. And then Working From Home and Alrada down the bottom. Both horses can sit on speed. Alrada's an 1100 metre horse, and Working From Home ran some good figures early on. And then, especially at Hamilton, its first win, sort of untested, I reckon could get a solo lead for Regan Bayliss, and just a query on
Solo
some
lead?
of these horses are not that good. I don't
A
reckon.
solo lead.
Potentially.
See, this is the best thing about punting form. See how, like, if something happens on
It's
track,
just a kiddie mac of you. Yeah.
you can just slide them around.
Yeah. Oh, and that's
I'm sure a bunch of people have finally got on board this. This is my favourite part of the whole thing.
Yeah. And like speed maps, everyone's got their own different opinion. That's what makes the game good. But I just think these two runners down the bottom, Working From Home and Alrada, Fragonard and Here the Chant were running in benchmark 70s not that long ago. And I just reckon in mares races especially, the gap from the open group class to the benchmark 70 horses, 2 lengths max. I really honestly believe that if they're in the right benchmark 70, there's just not much gap between them. I think the market's a bit wrong. Happy to
Righto.
take it on.
Good. Righto. Race number 4, 1400 metres, 3-year-old and up, fillies and mares, Group 3. Prices, Trav.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Flippant went up the early favourite, and they don't really want her.
Some of us took a little early little dip here at one.
Oregon's Day, $3.80, $4.80 for pretty much Harlow Gold and Flippant, $8.50 Soho Ruby, and then double figures the rest. No real movement in the early market for anything else.
How did Oregon's Day trial?
Fair.
I thought reasonable. She's not a great trial.
I think it is a very, very good bet in this card. Map as follows. Flippant, I think, will cross and lead, which scares me
Yeah.
because it hasn't led yet this prep, and the horse is in enormous order, nowhere near its top. What's near its top, but it's nowhere near going over the top. Holds condition really well. Band of Spice outside it. Deja Blue, little sucker on there, box seat. I think Philly Champagne can be ridden forward. Harlow Gold, back the fence. Savage outside it. Then Oregon's Day, I think, can be one off the fence. Cooking Soho Ruby, who's going to have to go forward or even further back.
Yeah.
I think if Zara's serious here, he'll hold it out. And the other horse last.
Soho Ruby's interesting for me with Basta. Has rolled forward at 1400 in the past, a little while ago, but I just think Zara's been.
And was that the day that it won?
Nah, this is back in sort of her winter preparation. She rolled forward, and I think from barrier 7 they got options. She's not a horse that lacks early tactical speed for more.
Yeah, I've had a look at it. This is a really difficult race with the first up horses. Phil Champagne trialled really well before it ran last start.
It's a great horse. It's
And
a
it
really
was-
nice horse.
And it was 3 back the fence at the Valley. Look, it'll be one that'll be taken out 0 in the book. It'll be $30 on the day. It probably sucked me in because it is a good trialer. But I just gave it a blowout chance. Harlow Gold's the one that if it's there can probably win, and if the track suits the run on.
Doesn't Harlow Gold want a lot further?
Yeah, I was pretty keen that it needs a lot further.
Yeah, but it's different. The Flemington Straight's different. Look, if it's there, I reckon Harlow Gold's got a good chance. And it seems to be short enough pre-post. Like I
think it'll start $8.
I did the form and I thought it was short, but Harlow Gold has got natural ability.
Yeah, which a couple of these in this race lack is
Yeah.
what you're getting at.
So look, yeah, blowout chance to 10. Like not have your last on it, but if you're at the tote, you've got to have 5 each way. You're not going to miss the 10. 10 a blowout chance, 5 a run on if it's there. 1, 2, 3, and 8 all hopes. Probably happy to take on Flippant. It was pretty ordinary last start.
That was the start before.
Yeah, I got knocks on Flipping at 1400. I'm pretty keen. When she opened up favourite, I thought this was a good race to punt into. And then the smart guys sort of honed in that can get on early on Oregon's Day.
Get off.
Because this is a this is a horse who I think in the past has never gone first up at 1400. She's a dead set 1400 metre horse to a mile. Most of her first up runs,
Oregon State?
yeah, could be maybe her first up record if you just look at it purely from the numbers point of view.
They're good runs.
Yeah, they're good runs, but she's never won first up. But she's also usually been in races where she's not suited. So she's 1400 here first up. Group 3, I think they're looking for a bit more black type for a CV as a broodmare. I think this is ready to go, rock and roll. It
Shoving?
combined. Oh, it's not a chips in, but it's a good bet at the current price.
Okay.
I've got one thing before we go on with this. It'd be interesting to see how it parades in the yard because it has gone off its head a few times and
Yeah.
kick barriers. And
Where's the hood from memory as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. It often like gets blocked and loses momentum at key stages in big races, in big fields.
Yeah.
It's got a small field here. Zara on. I think it's borderline moral. You just need. I'll be definitely saving on Philly Champagne, probably Soho Ruby if it parades well. Maybe Savage. I'm happy to risk Harlow Gold at $5, whatever we're getting right now.
Yeah.
And if I need to take a tiny percentage, I'll probably save on Flippant, but I'll risk Harlow Gold. I think Oregon State and Harlow Gold are the two most dynamic horses in the race.
Yeah, the horses with the class.
The only other horse I know we're going a little bit, but the each way is Deja Blue. This horse is mapped perfectly, ran alright at Tasmania last start. I don't think she's the class, but she gets a really good map, and she's won at 1400 Flemington before. Might go be wrong price.
I'll put in 6 numbers out of the 10 and it's in the 6.
I'm having a big crack at Oregon's Day. Race 5, 2,000 metres, benchmark 70.
Oh, it's not a great race, but the favourite is $6.50 Seattle Park, $7 for Vungas, $7.50 Maha-Langer, and then $9 Rock de Casbah and double figures. The rest, Mr. Fergus is around $12, probably best of the rest, $11.
Alright, map. This is tricky. Bungas kicks along leads. La Bella Jude box seats. Rock de Casbah gets across, I think. Now, this is a mistake that I make a little bit, and a lot of people can do when they're mapping horses. I've got Big Sir, 2 back, 1 off. It's very messy around here, and the rider with intent's going to find that spot.
Yeah.
I want to back Big Sir each way. So that's where I want it to land as well.
Yeah.
I think it can land there, it should land there, but you never know.
Yeah, I sort of had him a bit further back, to be honest.
But there's a wall of them, so
Yeah.
it's just like the intention and the intent from the jockeys in the first 200 metres of this race is fucking crucial to the chances of a lot of these horses.
Yeah, because they're all similar. It's a 0 to
Similar
7.
gate speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully some intent for Big Sir, and I think it can win at each way price. I'm really keen to back it at $15.
Yeah. Look, this is the weakest race on the program today at Flemington. I want to see what the track plays like, because we just spoke about off air that these meetings this time last year were just hard up against the fence and nothing could win. If they can get out past the middle, All Out of Love has shown ability, but it's got barrier 15. We'll get back. Zanderel, it's hard to. They can improve 3 or 4 lengths overnight. That stable, which we all know. So let's get there on the day.
You should get a cushy run.
Yeah, well, that's it. But I'd prefer Zara than John Allen, considering he's there today, or anyone else.
John Allen, right now, John Allen's just thinking about a couple of races' time. I'm about to win a Group 1.
Yeah, well, anyway, my queries in the race, or the horses that I'll be with, if all plays to plan, which would be 2 and 12, but it's not a race I'm overly wrapped in.
Yeah, I think they're all pretty evenly graded, and then there's one horse down the bottom. Not usually, if this was a similar sort of profile horse to the others, I'd probably mark it 50s, because it's coming from 1400 to 2000, which is what I hate. But this horse has got potential, just way more upside than the other runners, and that's the Hawks horse, Maha
Isn't that
Langar.
scratched?
Is it scratched?
No, it's running it depends if it's running in the Guineas or
Yeah,
not.
it's an emergency in the Australian Guineas. Sort of shows you they got a reasonable opinion of the horse.
I totally
Yep.
totally support this. I thought it was scratched.
This horse ran 4th behind Addictive Nature, Assimilate and Astoria back in the spring. Proper group class 3-year-old form. He's then had 2 runs in Sydney. He's been out the back and at unsuitable trips. I think if he's got the fitness base under him for the 2000, so he's a bit of a yard horse, and I think he could just win. Cause
He's bred to get it, O'Reilly. So.
Yeah, he is. I just think his form line potential is just way better than these horses. He's on the up. A lot of these horses are stagnating, and you're getting, to be honest, I think you're getting a fair price at around $7.50. So I'm pretty happy to find out at that price if he can get the trip.
Alright, sweet. Race 6. Autumn handicap, 400 metres, Group 3.
Yeah, interesting runner here is favourite. First start in Australia, Poetic Dream, $3.20. Zahitzi at $3.90, and then $7.50 for Odeon and Coldstone at $7.50. Everything else double figures.
What sort of gate speed does Poetic Dream possess, boys? Have you seen any jump outs?
Watched the jump out wherever he had the blinkers on. They went straight to the front, and he bolted in under a hop. Won by 7 lengths against nothing.
Okay.
I've sort of mapped him not too far away. They do take the blinkers off for the race day, which I thought was interesting, considering trialling them. Blokes I know do overseas form, or just the one guy, I should say. But there's not many. He really liked the horse. He thought it would potentially, if settles in, acclimatises, can measure up in Group 1 racing here in Australia. The jump out was good. For me, if this is right to go on the yard, I'll be having a fair crack. I don't like the race outside of it, and I think it's still a reasonable price.
I think this race is cooked. The map's awkward. It makes it even worse with this thing with gate speed. I'll check with Drew to see what he thinks of its potential. If they're leading, Sashani seems a solid play, but at that price, I don't want to back any horse in this race. I'd be surprised if I bet the race even from the yard.
Yeah.
Like it's a cooked map, and there's a lot of horses here that aren't consistent, but on their day, run like enormous. Like even Amavatio can.
Well, I looked at the race and I'm like, oh, Coldstone, Stephanie Thornton, but she hasn't got the claim. There's some Coldstone without the claim. If she had the claim, would give it more of a hope. Yeah, I agree with you all. Yeah. The Hayes import is the key to the race, so suck it and see, as they say.
I think for me, I really wanted to be against horses who map further back than 5th. They're going to have too much work to do. A lot of them are first up. I couldn't get involved in any of those horses. I think the horse at a huge price at each way if you're looking for something, you know, to step
If you're
into.
real sick.
Yeah, which most people watching the show, let's be honest, they are.
Well, that's why the show exists. 'Cause
Exactly.
I am sick. And Drew's got massive problems.
So at 19
Drew
bucks.
bets on trots.
Yeah, that's too far for me. But dodging bullets at $19, I think if he can replicate his first up run, I think it might have been second up. Flemington 1400 behind the answer, my friend, Mr. Sneaky. Last preparation, he's definitely in the game, and I think he's just a big price considering.
He's a shit, that horse. He owes me a lot of money. Anything else?
No, it's a go.
Race 7, Australian Guineas, mile, 600 metres.
Here we go.
Group 1 for 3-year-olds. This race is enormous.
It's a competitive race. Cliff's Edge is the favourite at the moment at 420 most corporates. Grunt at around 550. You can get 650 some places though. Aloysia 7, and then you're sort of looking at double figures the rest. Addictive Nature at 11, probably the best of the others.
Okay, Matt, I think Addictive Nature will lead. Cliff's Edge sits outside it. Cliff's Edge can roll across and lead, but I kind of hope he doesn't, or he's very slowly. John Allen's special, which he's done on Cliff many a time. So good to have him back on board. Gently rolls across. Posting Grunt, 3 wide, facing the breeze. Will not get the suck run that he got last time. Cliff's Edge gets 3 kilos on him as well. Embellish in behind them. Black Sail, box seats. Main stage in behind Black Sail. Black Sail, main stage, probably get runs of the race. Then Peaceful State, I think, will be pushed in and get a bit of cover. Salzamore, who I think's right in this, if it's got a better run, is 3 wide. Aloysia, I don't know where it's going to end up, but it's not going to be good. Lavendi, Mighty Boss, Walsh's horse will be on the fence. The rest of them further back. I really like the run of Murahib. Last start, it's maps, I don't know where it's going to land, and it just scares the shit out of me. My original plan before mapping this was just unload Cliff, potentially save Grunt, maybe Murahib. I'm very tempted now to take on Grunt and take on Murahib, which I think I will. I'll be surprised if Aloysia is forward enough. She was almost in foal first up, and it was an enormous run. She'll piss in the Vinery in Sydney. I think that's where they're setting it for.
Aiming it.
And this is like another trial for her. Cliff's Edge has the tactical speed to own this fucking race, and I gotta hope he does. He's my favourite horse. I'm gonna not be losing on Black Sail, being neutral, and I'm gonna get a lot out of main stage. They'll probably be my 3 plays in the race: Cliff's, Black Sail, and main stage.
I got just a little question for you, Dicko. Peaceful State. Horse you were pretty keen on at Sandown when he won first up. He was SP favourite in the CS Hayes. He was flat.
Was that when we watched it? Was that your brother?
That was my brother.
I was backing the shit out of him.
At Sandown.
I had too much on him.
It was a massive win at Sandown by the horse. And then he SP'd favourite in the CS Hayes, and he performed flat.
I thought he paraded fitter and much better at Sandown than he did Flemington. I thought Grunt was very wound up at Flemington. He had a really big blow. I thought Cliff's Edge is still nowhere near his top. I think Cliff's Edge from the CS Hayes has the most upside yard-wise. He's a very consistent horse in the yard with every other factor. Aloysia has heaps to come. Peaceful State could go either way. Embellish has a little bit of condition to come, sort of in the same as the Cliff's Edge boat. I probably want to be saving on it too, actually. I've never seen Addictive Nature, I've got no idea. Mighty Boss, I think, is a milk drinker who SP'd $101. That's only win outside of the maiden. Murahib has some to come. Villamont heaps to come. Mr. So-and-so near top. Yeah, that'll do. Bring Me Roses is in good order, but fuck, how's it going to win from where it is?
I agree with you. It's really going to be interesting, the map. If I had the match race between Cliff's Edge and Grunt, I'd be taking Grunt at this stage, just on what I've seen on the videos. Where's going to sit Grunt? It really... We'll find out in the first 300 or 400 metres what's going to happen in this race, but the one at massive overs is main stage. It is just going to improve, and it may be the best horse in the race. So my numbers with main stage clearly on, well, not clearly on top, at the price on top. Grunt is going the best of the rest, I thought. Number 1 does get a very good run in the race if it's up to it. Mighty Boss from the barrier. Number 3, Embellish will improve and probably gets a good run from the draw. And yeah, Murrayhead has got some chance, but the barrier 15 is not ideal.
Let's have a case bet somewhere around. Do you want to have one around Mighty Boss?
No.
Grunt versus Cliff's Edge. Just finishing position. Whoever finishes higher.
Well, it depends how the race is played. I've had gout for the last 2 weeks. I've had the first stubby I've had in 2.5 weeks.
I'll buy some ginger beers or something.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, leave me out of this. No, my case bets. As soon as I'll have a case bet with you for $50 and do thousands on the race because of it's the no, it's no good. I'll pop one through the. It's like put one on the Betfair Lays. You just got to.
Throws you off.
You got to equate for a 3 lengths
I
improvement as soon as you
got
put
a
it.
case bet up yesterday versus Dan O'Sullivan.
Yeah, well that's
what
it.
a life goal.
Right, leave me out. No, there's my opinion. Seven value, 11 going well, 1, 3, and 5 to keep.
There's a couple of horses here that.
Try and beat it reasonably.
Yeah, Addictive Nature, I think's got none. He's Sydney. He's a bit of a myth for mine. Won't get the mile, so I'm happy to put the pen through him. He's got the different form. I thought Grunt's I think he's the horse with the most upside in the race. He improved drastically on what he'd done to date last start, upwards of nearly 4 lengths. And I know he's got an interesting map, but he's got Damien Oliver on, who's a big Group 1 rider and just doesn't get it wrong too often in these big races.
Depends if he's betting or not.
You're not betting enough, mate.
No, in big Group 1.
You are not betting enough. Let me take you back to Mooney Valley last week.
Mooney Valley.
I backed
It's
Clipper
not a Group
and I backed
1.
a 2-year-old in race 1, which he cooked them both.
Yeah, but not
Damien's
Group
as capable of any of us as cooking stuff.
Yeah, but this is
This is
a
a
Group
Group 1. Yeah,
I'm not hearing me pointing.
yeah. I agree with Trav.
And I'm like, I don't know, you're a massive Cliff's Edge. He's your boy. But I thought he had his chance against Aloysia in an Amy Vars. He got beaten up. He's had his chance against Main Stage. He beat him at Flemington. I'm just not convinced he's a Group 1 horse. I think he's the benchmark Group 2. And I think he's... and this is what makes the game good, Dicko. We all have different opinions. But
No, we can have different opinions, but you can't say he's not a genuine group horse.
I'll be interested to see where he gets to
Okay.
later on. But
Hey, here you go. I have a case bet. I have a case bet. Jay Allen won't ride 1/10 of the group. How many Group 1 winners has Damien Oliver ridden comparatively to Jay
70
Allen?
I think it's 105.
A lot.
Yeah, how many has Jay Allen rode? 1?
2.
2.
Alright, I'll have a
Two
case
South
bet. I'll have a
Australian
year-long
winners.
case bet. John Allen will ride more Group 1 winners to the end of the year than Damien Oliver will.
Yeah, because with any luck, do
Yeah.
you know why? Because Damien
'Cause he-
Oliver
'cause
might
he-
have his second bet in his life and get 12 months.
Oh, the second bet.
Race 8?
Oh,
No.
I haven't even
Yeah.
Oh.
said who I'm taking.
Can't, Trav. Get into it.
So I'm taking on Cliff's Edge. I think he's too short. I'm happy with Grunt, and I think Aloysia, she just bounces second up. I was happy to be against her first up. She did a ton of work mid-race. I think she did a lot of work during that mid-race, and it was a huge run considering. She can bounce second up. She got a dominant win over Cliff's Edge, which is sort of what I'm pointing to. I think they're the 2 runners I want to be with. And Peaceful State, I reckon the market's maybe just a little bit too hard on him on one run. He can maybe improve. He was 10 days between runs there at Sandown to Flemington from a hot day. And I reckon he can maybe bounce back. Holy Snow is the other one who's at $20. I couldn't lose on him. I thought his win at Caulfield was big. I'll be playing those 4 and taking on Cliffs. Mainly Aloysia though for me.
On your Trav, I agree with you. It's good.
So, let me just clarify. Aloysia did beat up Cliff's Edge once at 2,000.
Yeah.
It's up and down like this. We're going to get probably 550 Cliffs on the fair.
It's $4.20. You'll get $6 because it's going to drift. Because
Yeah.
it can't win.
It's a horse that maps best out of the genuine contenders in the race.
It's got
Yeah,
it's got barrier 16 though. That's the concerning point. Is it's drawn well off the track. On the
This is a horse that SP'd $6.50 v Toastum Stardom over 2,000 metres, and was an enormous run.
Yeah. Oh, look, I can see your point.
The horse doesn't know what odds it is. I keep on saying that. Mighty Boss didn't know he's 100 to 1. He just shot up the inside and got the money.
Well, he has ever since. All right, enough on that.
Race 8.
Is anyone going to have a case bet with me though?
Or maybe.
Well, you pick a horse. I've got Cliff.
Oh,
You can have two horses. One of them finishes in front of Cliff's. You get a case. If Cliff beats them both home, I get a case.
yeah, all right. I'll take you, Grant and Eloise.
Done.
Thanks.
Perfect.
I'll go your halves in it, Trav. Jeez.
Race 8, 1,000 metres. That's it. What are the prices, Trap?
Top two at the weights, the top two in the betting currently, Fell Swoop and Secret Agenda, both Group 1 performers. They're $3.90, $4 at most corporates. Crystal Dreamer $5.50. Husson Eagles around $10. Low as $7.50 though, some agencies. And then probably Thermal Current, County Essent next best at around 11, 12s.
Geez, Palmer better keen to have a bet, aren't they?
$7.50 Husson Eagle.
$7.50 Husson Eagle. Well done, boys.
So,
Do they know something we don't?
he's a good 1,000-metre horse, good Flemington horse. So,
The map here is it's a bit tricky. I think Sunday Escape's got the most early speed. Crystal Dreamer will make its own luck. This I'm Wesley seems to have enough speed to be forward-ish,
yeah.
but right in the middle, Fell Swoop and Malibu Style can lead the grandstand side. Secret Agenda in behind Fell Swoop. I think she'll sort of tag him the whole way. Oliver and Kalama on the inside towards the rear. Canny Scent behind sort of on Wesley in the middle part of the track where I don't want to be. Thermal Current and Husson Eagle can follow the two Group 1 performed horses and Malibu Style down the outside. And I'm pretty keen to have a good bet at Husson Eagle and Thermal Current off this map and off their profile at this trip.
Thermal Current, just for me, he was a huge drifter last start in the market. He's really deep into a prep. I'm just a little bit cautious with him going forward. He's a bit of a non-winner too.
Yeah, I've had a look at this race. I'm happy to take on Secret Agenda. I sort of had it more on pace. If you've got it even behind horses, I'm happy to take it on first up in this race.
I just think that Secret Agenda or Fell Swoop will tag each other.
Yeah, Fell Swoop trialled untouched at Goulburn against nobodies, but it hit the line. Fell Swoop, I think's got a pretty solid chance. TJ Smith, Doomben 10,000, the Everest, like it's ran in all those proper Group 1 races, and so which suits it. It has ran down the track at Flemington before, which is of benefit. It hasn't won for 671 days, which is a bit concerning. But Fell Swoop's got a good hope for mine, but it will be going in for something. I'm happy to lay Secret Agenda. Crystal Dreamer, Thermal Current, lay. On Wesley, definitely lay. Malibu Style won a trial at Ascot, which I didn't watch, but happy to lay. 9, 10, 11, not good enough. So Canny Essence, the one at odds for me. I think it was good enough first up. It has enough ability to win. Husson Eagle is a proven 1,000-metre straight track. You know it's going to be rushing home at the end. You know what you're going to get. But
I think each way it's a nice.
From a bookmaker's point of view, Canny Essence the one that'll get me the split. Husson Eagle will be winning me. Foul Swoop will have to go in for something to level up the book, and happy to stand Secret Agenda. Hope it gets short, and lay the other ones because they can't win.
Trap?
Yeah, I think the top two, Fell Swoop and Secret Agenda, are not 1,000-metre horses, and I want to back 1,000-metre horses in the race. They're both first up. They're good horses, so they're going to trial well against, and they're sprinters, so I wouldn't read too much into that. I'm happy enough to oppose both of them, and I think Crystal Dreamer, his form at Flemington at 1,000 metres is really good.
Yeah, I agree. He'd be the other one of mine.
Yeah, he's 2 starts at Flemington 1,000. He beat Malibu Style, Husson Eagle, and then he's ran second at Ball of Muscle. So I think for me, I marked him favourite. I think he's a bit of value at the price. I'll be happy enough to back him, and I can agree with Husson Eagle. Again, he's a really good 1,000-metre Flemington horse, and he could map for Grandstand Rail, so which could be good later on in the day. I think they're the two horses I'm pretty keen to play.
I reckon there's a good chance. Like, you cannot back a fucking horse that hasn't won for 670 days as favourite. It's suicidal. You gotta hate cash, yeah. It could well piss in, but it's sickening to consider having a bit on that. I'd rather have small wages, Husson Eagle, Thermal Current to be swooping down the outside, maybe even Canny Essen if you like it, and have something on Crystal Dreamer, the one that can lead and kick.
You've got to give Fal Swoop some credit though. It's been beaten by Chautauqua, Redzel, In Her Time, and Redzel. So
yeah, serious horses.
They're serious horses.
Races.
Yeah,
100%. But it's different race shapes. It's
yeah. I'm just a little bit. If he was going as well, why wasn't he in the Oakley Plate? Like, why was he coming
that's
to a
exactly
listed
right.
race?
Yeah,
Robbie Langmont training.
It's a little bit like this. No, but it's like there's Kashing's racing tonight at Pakenham.
Yep.
$2 shot.
Easy kill, why not?
Right. Well, if it's an easy kill, why isn't it racing on Saturday? It's a fucking good horse. If ran third or second a piece will stay.
Yeah.
2 starts back. If it hasn't missed work or something's wrong with it, I'll be shocked.
Yeah. No, it's in, you can bring you undone looking too far into that stuff. But
Anyway,
if I own the horse, if it's right.
yeah, you
I'm
own
at
for the
Flemington.
best.
it'll be the next Syndicate horse. You'll be winning the Newmarket with the next Dicko. Mitch Freeman will be up there shaking
We
the
didn't
trophy.
syndicate the horse.
Righto.
Racing Taurus, MD Schist.
Yeah.
Race number
Nice.
9, 400 metres, Super Vobus. What is this? 3-year-olds.
Yeah, market's interesting. I haven't really honed in on one yet. Scarecrow, $5. Then you got $6.50, $7 barbecue, $8 chow chow, $8.50 for Dicko's ill-fated bet over and above.
Well, let's give myself. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of credit here. On last week's show, I was fresh off this fucking shit result with over and above. I didn't whinge about it. I didn't criticise anything.
No, that's true.
Now I've had the benefit of puntingform.com.au's times, and they've gone 6.5 below benchmark to the 600. So it was barbecued. The best horse in the race, back from $5 into $2.60, walked. And let slower horses be right on its ass and just become a sprint home. So no wonder it got run over. I don't think it's going to win today. I'm not going to follow my money, but I'm sick about it. It's a poor ride by Dwayne.
Red, white, and
That's
blue
out of my system. Thank you.
is the other one at 10, and Holbein. Looking at the market at the moment, looks an open race.
Map. Scarecrow leads. Holbein can OSL. Angelic Spirit can box seat. KO. Is that how we say that one?
Chow, they've been
Chow.
called.
Xiao. One back, one off, I think. I don't think it's quick enough to lead Scarecrow and Holbein if they want it. Over and above and red and white want to get forward, but I don't think they're fast enough. This is a big step up for them. They'll be cast. Caribbean Pearl, cast. Murahib gets a nice little run. Barbecue along the fence back there. In denial, back on fence. Sheer Madness back last with Island Missile. Eclair Sunshine and Esterak sort of back in cast, I think.
I'm betting here if these horses, if they are getting out past the middle of the track and running on, this is just the biggest overs of the day here. You must be back. If it's a run on track,
Yeah, I agree.
I am backing Esterak. It is just phenomenal overs. It is. I just cannot believe it. Went through the line last start from back in the field. Flemington.
What do you do if the grunt, like the grunt Cliff's Edge form, shits itself in the guineas? Just as an example, does that change your view here?
This horse has started. When you're talking about the SP, it's SP'd short its whole career. They've got a big rap on this horse. It's $15, $16 or something at the moment. The key to this is the pattern of racing, but it is big odds. And the same thing goes with Kentucky Breeze. It's big odds too. 5 and 1 will both improve lengths on their first up run. 5 and 1, and number 6 is probably the suited Scarecrow, but it's 4th run back. But look for big improvement out of 5 and 1, and if they're running on, just you've got to be backing 5 at the odds. You just have to be backing it.
I'm backing Scarecrow to win. I'm going to get something out of Holbein, and I'm going to get something out of Esterak if they run on. Even if they don't, I think if they're not, the horse will be used up to get forward, which they've done before.
Yeah, Scarecrow for mine he was really brave in the CSA Stakes. I think he's
Probably the second biggest run in the CSAs behind Cliff.
yeah. I didn't have much of an opinion of a horse going into it. Look, Cliff was a good run in the CSAs, but he's got anyway. But Scarecrow, I didn't really have a huge opinion of him till then. And
Yeah, he on with you, but he earned it there.
yeah, he really he sort of impressed me there. I think he's one part of two horses. If I could use a Benny Two Bets strategy here, shout out to Ben Ascari, good judge at racing.com. But I'd go with Scarecrow and Barbecue. I thought Barbecue was just not suited last start at Caulfield. He got back. It wasn't one of D-Line's best.
He barbecued it.
Yeah, pretty much. He ran up, just in places he shouldn't have been. Horse should have won the race. I thought I think he's a little bit of value at the price at around $7, even $8 sometimes. So I thought him and Scarecrow for me.
All right, Walshy, best bet.
Best bet. This is good. You want to be betting in the Australian Cup.
Next week.
Meadows, race 8, dog 4,
Oh,
raw ability. I sat down Saturday night and I watched a couple. I was speaking to Dicko about cutting my teeth on the greyhound form and that. And,
It's like Ray Warren on 12th Man. Have you ever heard that?
The 12th, shove your tongue down your throat.
Yeah, he
leave
goes,
my teeth.
there's Ray Warren. He goes, I cut my teeth on the ditch lickers down at Jungney.
Yeah. Well, I was having dinner at a pub where the dogs are on. I was either talking to my missus and a friend about Married at First Sight and shit that didn't really matter. And I watched a few heats of the Australian Cup dogs, and then I went home and watched the heats. I got a really good coverage on the greyhounds, the Twitter account GRV and that. And they put up the replays, and I watched the replays again. This dog might lead. If the dog leads the first place, they usually win. It's an interstate dog. It broke 30 seconds. It's not luxury odds at 290 or something at the moment, but after races, I will be having a decent bet on Meadows Greyhounds, race 8, dog 4, raw ability.
I love it. Okay, best bet.
It won't be at the Meadows, I can assure you that.
I'm going to back that dog.
Yeah, have something on it.
Will be.
Yeah.
Flemington race 3, number 2 here, the Chant, and race 4, number 1, Oregon's Day. Both hard to beat.
My best, race 4, number 1, Oregon Stay, and race 7, number 2, Cliff's Edge. And I'm going to have an all up those two, and I might even throw another all up with those two into that dog, just because why not?
The best each way of the day is clearly Esterac. If the track's playing run on, Esterac is clearly the best each way of the day, and massive overs.
Husson Eagle for me, best each way.
Yeah, I could nearly agree with Husson Eagle. I thought in the first race, though, the 8, Virtual Insanity, it's jumped out well, and I think it's just the wrong price.
That's a good lead.
Righto, guys. That's it. Thanks. Good luck, guys. Hope you win. Bye.